We're fighting Crom in his dungeon on stage 10 to get skill books. If you want to do this as free to play, you can. This team is a free to play team, and your K will be much stronger than mine. I don't have any skill books into her. She's missing 100% additional attack, and this boss is all about doing as much damage as possible. If you want to see me fight this on day 3 on my free to play account, I'll leave a picture of that video up. You can do this as free to play without the 2 heroes I'm going to talk about. These 2 heroes stop Crom from eating your team. And we're also going to talk about other mechanics to make it easier for you to fight Crom. Thank you all for being a supporter. 2,500. If you're not a supporter, sign up down below. I will get you some free stamina along with gold right now. And then there's going to be more rewards coming this month. Everybody, big rewards are coming. Once Crom kind of detonates his 2 little worms, he gets this increased attack buff. Well, you're going to be using Morgan. Morgan's skill 2 can strip a buff. You're going to have that on auto to put up the debuffs. You see the attack increase he has right now. Morgan just stripped that. So make sure you're always on the lookout for that, and you have Morgan doing her skill 2. Flame is the best because we're knocking back that attack gauge. Baldwin is one of the 2 heroes that can stop Crom from eating your team. And it's all due to this Chivalry 3. Without that Chivalry 3, he can't do it. And if you max out his second passive, instead of 2 heroes out, he will allow you to have 3 heroes when you start fighting. If you use Guinevere without any gear, just put Guinevere on your team, she'll do the same thing. She'll allow 3 other heroes out to fight Crom. Crom cannot eat you then. And this K really isn't that powerful. It looks like it might be strong with this kind of gear, but really without those books to give her that 100% additional attack, she is pretty damn weak. This is Baldwin. Baldwin only allows you to have 2 out, sometimes 3. I don't know why it's doing that. It should be 3 all the time. But I'm just going to go through here to show you how basically stupid this fight is. This is the worst mechanic I've ever seen in any game I've ever played. And it puts a lot of people off on 10-7 when they go to fight this boss, because I thought it is free to play. I didn't have Baldwin. I didn't have Guinevere. I just had to wait to my damage dealer, which was K at level 55, came out and did enough damage to get the rest of my team without being feared. But here is just play after play with Baldwin. Sometimes I get 3 out, sometimes I get 2. It should always be 3. I don't know what's going on with Baldwin. Baldwin doesn't really help us a lot. He's not really stopping us from these abnormal status effects. He can at times, but he really doesn't. Guinevere will. With Guinevere in here, she'll just have your 3 guys always start together, and then Guinevere will come in later, and then she'll also block abnormal status immunities, which are those fears, and we won't have to worry about being feared and not doing damage. But we're taking this boss down below those points at the very top. And to do that, we have to do a crazy amount of damage, so we need our debuffs from Morgan. We need K to be in there doing the skill 2 over and over. But look at this. This is all RNG. This is not a smart encounter. We are not doing something to overcome this boss because there's nothing we can do. We just have to wait to not be feared. We have to wait to get our damage dealer out. We have to wait to get Morgan out so she can apply the debuff so we can actually do damage. And you can see that we're on stage 10. I'm in pretty good gear. I've got Morgan decked out really nicely, I'm sure, with good speed. I've got Torin in here to give us that increased defense times 2 so that when the boss does hit us, it's not a lot of damage. If Torin has 2 increased defense up, when this boss does that little kind of across the board hit, we won't take hardly any damage. So if you have your Torin, which you will on day 1, you've got your Morgan in the flame weapon, knocking back the attack gauge, applying the debuffs, removing the buff that Crom will get. And then you can make sure that you actually do your abilities and have everybody out. It can work. Look, both just got feared. K got feared, and now K's dead, and Morgan got feared. Do you see how this fight is? It's not intelligent. You're not doing something to circumvent, to overcome, to build a smart team around the mechanics of the boss. You're just having to wait till you get the appropriate heroes out and then hope to hell that you don't get feared. So really stupid. Again, if you have Guinevere, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. Just load Guinevere up with some HP, throw some crap gear on her. Don't worry about skilling out anything that Guinevere has with her passive or her skills. Just throw her on the team and your whole 3 people will be there. You'll get Guinevere kicked out once you do enough damage, and then Guinevere will stop your team from being abnormal status, from the fear. and then you'll be able to keep doing damage and actually beat this encounter. I don't know how many times it's going to take for me to RNG through this, but I'm pretty sure I played about 17 minutes before I got the right team. Before I was doing enough damage with Kay, I didn't get feared. Morgan put up the debuffs. Let's see if it's this one. Let me skip forward. The boss hit us. It wasn't too bad. I don't think Morgan's going to die here. And if Kay had that 100% additional attack, this would go so much smoother. Because we are on stage 10. This is an in-game dungeon. But regardless of in-game dungeon, it's still really crappy to have to wait for all the RNG to align to be able to do this. And if you're a new player and you face 10-7 on story mode and you only have one hero after the boss eats you and you're waiting for that one hero to do enough damage to kick everybody else out, it can get really annoying. I believe that this encounter stops a lot of people from playing King Arthur Legends Rise. And I don't think this company is going to do anything about it. It's wild. Like, it just blows my mind. All right, we're doing enough damage. We've got our debuffs up. Enough bitching about it. Let's just get past this so we don't have to worry about this anymore and so we can enjoy the friggin' game. Like, all the amazing things that this game has to offer, and it's got like this encounter that we just got to get past on 10-7 as a new player, and then later on you'll farm it, and by then hopefully you'll have Baldwin with his Chivalry 3. You'll work toward getting that second passive maxed out, or you'll get lucky enough to get Guinevere, and then you can just put her on this team. It's the only thing that Guinevere is used for. This Crom fight, you put her on your team for Crom, and you don't even worry about her. You don't do anything else with her. Okay, it looks like we need some no, we don't need healing. But we have to beat this boss in one round or it's going to do this huge nuke and kill us. That's another thing about this. Again, a DPS race, we got to do enough damage. Otherwise, it's going to rear up and just destroy us. So we made it on to the next phase. A lot of people don't even know this has a next phase. When you get to this next phase, it's really easy. It's got a left, a right, and then it's got the main body. The right side can freeze people on your team for the whole entire fight. So you want to take out the right side first. I think I'm going over and showing the skills. It can brainwash on the left for the whole entire fight, which is not as bad as being frozen. This is freeze right here. For the rest of the battle, it's a 30% chance to freeze you. You don't want that. It will last pretty much the whole entire battle. It's bad. So we're going to take out the right eye, which is on the left-hand side. Once we do that, you go for the main body. So we're going to skip forward a little bit here. The boss doesn't do a crazy amount of damage, but you can see we're getting low with K. So instead of doing a skill 2, heal over time and increase defense, I have Torrin do her skill 3, a bigger heal. We need to get healing in here so that Kay doesn't die. If she dies, it's all over. Okay, now we're only being attacked 2 times instead of 3 times. We need our debuffs up from Morgan, and then we can start doing damage to the main body. Get it below 50% HP, which we do. Now everybody is pretty high on health. After this, it's easy. Now, if you're really weak on damage and you're taking far too long to do this, it can be an issue. Because here, at this point, we just have to hit the boss a certain number of times. Like, nothing's going to happen to us. Even right now with this countdown, it looks like it's going to do something massive, but it won't. It'll just hit one of your heroes really lightly, no problem. Which it's going to do in just a minute when it takes a turn. There. No damage, right? But now the next one it does, if you don't kill it in time, it's going to obliterate your whole entire team. Nothing you can do about it. We've got one turn, I think, to do it. And if we don't beat him right here, he will kill the whole entire team. And I tried to slow play it to see if that's what would happen, because he does. I'm just not sure at what point it does that. And I think it's this point. I'm positive, because this is stage 10 and our K really isn't pumping a lot of damage. I tried to do the skill 1 to see if we could take a turn and die, see if it would kill us, but okay, we made it. We made it through there. Again, we're going to do Guinevere. If you've got Guinevere, you just throw her in. Like, it's that easy. Everything is easy. No gear on Guinevere, who cares? Throw her in here. We've got our 3. It'll always be the other 3 are out. Easy times. Increased defense up. We got the debuffs up, and we've got Kay coming in there doing her skill 2 over and over. Eventually, we'll have Guinevere out. Her skill 1 can apply decreased damage dealt, so the boss will do less damage to us. And make sure you always reapply to target the boss, because your heroes will go off and start attacking these little guys, And that's a big no-no. You don't have damage then going to the boss, you're going to fail. So Baldwin or Guinevere, if you're new and free to play and you want to learn how to do this fight, again, go check out my video on day 3 when I beat this. It's pretty tough, but you can do it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate your love, your support. If you have any questions, let me know down below and come join our Discord. Our Discord's amazing. Everybody will help you out there. Thanks again. I will see you all in a video soon.